Hello everyone, Mike Anderson here with Living Motion Monograms and the 1% Solution. Now today I'm going to be talking with you guys about what the tools disc actually is. A few years ago, Randy and I came out with volume 5 of the 1% Solution entitled How'd They Do That? And it was just a really great disc of showing you guys some really cool ideas that we've done at weddings over the years, explain how to actually pull those unique ideas off, whether voiceover recordings, dancing on the clouds, lighting effects, and we were able to put it onto a training DVD. Well, following that, we had a lot of people say, well, God, you know, I really love these ideas, I want to do them, but it seems like a whole lot of time to, how do I sell this to clients without having the right tools to give it, show them so that they would add it on to their package. And so what we did is we actually put together an entire disc which has all the tools you need to be able to really pull off and start selling those unique items for your event. So let's take a look at the disc. When you guys get it, whether it be the DVD disc that you'll download onto your computer, or if it is a Dropbox file that I will have you download if you purchase it online, you're going to open it up and it's going to have some features here. So the first thing what you're going to want to do is read the welcome letter. This is going to tell you exactly all about the DVD-ROM or about the files here. It's also going to give you the photo release for the images that are on here that you can use, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. And just kind of welcome you to the disc here. Next thing is our video guide. We've got it in MP4 and WMV for both systems, and this video is going to be really helpful. It's going to show you how to make some changes and edits to your monograms, but also how I sell this to clients and the process I go through to design monograms with my clients in about 5 minutes. I mean, really, really fast, and it makes it to where our meetings are a lot shorter instead of spending an hour or an hour and a half just on the monogram design. Or even worse, sending emails back and forth. That's what we want to avoid. So you'll see the template sheet on here, and this is going to just be a sales tool for you where you can bring this up on the screen or email this to clients and say, hey, here's our designs. Let me know which one you guys like the best, and we can make the changes to it for you. And I'll email you over a proof. You also see font, README file. So this is going to explain how to install the fonts that are included on this disc, just in case your system does not have these fonts on it. I've included them on this disc for you. You can also, as you go into the monograms here, we're going to check out and look for monogram fonts. One of the easiest ways to install fonts on Windows-based systems, just double-click the font. It's going to say install, and if you click install, it'll tell you whether it's already installed or if you want to replace it, or it'll just automatically install it. So we don't need to install that particular font in here. All of these fonts are free fonts. They can be found online as well. So by just doing a quick Google search. So we'll go back to the main menu here, and we've got our promotional material, audio samples, and monograms. So I kind of separated all of these. One more thing, release of photos, photo rights. So this is the photo release that will allow you guys to use these images for your marketing materials, for your websites, brochures, and sales meetings. These are the tools that will help, whether it be the monograms or dancing on the clouds. What I've done is I've included some really great photographs that you guys can use to help sell these items. So if we go into promotional material folder here, we can start with dancing on the clouds. And here you're going to see I've included some different versions. So like this photo is great if you don't do lighting at all. It just shows during the day dancing on the clouds. This one is at night. No lighting so much. We did a little bit of lighting. Comes down here off the side. Kind of looks like it's coming from our videographer's camera. But next one shows a little bit more lighting in the room. Not so much on the clouds. This is just a spotlight down on the clouds, which was actually used for their monogram. This one will show we've got some blue lights shining down onto the clouds here. This was at Disneyland Hotel that I did, and then we're doing some, purple lights, purple and blue lights shining through the fog. Another facility where we did uplighting for the event and lighting down onto the clouds. Some more basic photos. Here's another image of that first one where you can see the lights are coming down, shining down on it. So whether you need something without lighting or with lighting, we got it pretty much covered on that one. Next one is, let's go to shadow entrance. And this is one of those effects we teach you how to do on volume 5. And some really great shots of being able to show what this can look like for events. And to be able to use for your promotional material. So check those out, and we'll go. Our next one is going to be our monogram photos. So all these photos are of monograms that are on the disc, so it's a really good source, at least 90% of them. I also included this one because I wanted to show this is the old way of doing things. This is just a standard gobo, and I usually show my clients this and say, this is how most people are doing it still these days. We just have a better way of doing it now. And this will, the point of this is that I can point out that, the edges are a little bit fuzzy. We're kind of limited to one color, and it's a very flat image. As we go into some of the other ones, we can see what it looks like on a wall with just different lighting effects. Onto the dance floor in white. More white. I use this one a lot for showing how we can actually have it change halfway through the night. Maybe during dancing we want to just do something a little bit unique. This is one where the groom was a huge Raiders fan, and so we had a little bit of fun with him a little bit later that night. Again on the dance floor. I use this one to show that, hey, we can put it on the dance floor during the beginning part of the night, and when dancing gets started and everyone's having a good time, it's pretty easy to just move it up to the wall. So these, you'll notice, will match a lot of the monogram templates that are on the disc as well. We're going to back out here to go into audio samples. So audio samples, this is going to give you guys examples of what you can use to just during your sales meetings. So you can click on Best Wishes, and the Best Wishes Gilberg edited and unedited shows the difference of the original call that came in and what Randy did as far as editing down the audio file to sound the best at the event. We took a 1 minute 40 second call, and from that, let's see if it'll actually tell me here. He was able to take about 23 seconds off to make it more concise, have a better impact, and I think you'll notice that impact when you're listening to him. So listen to the unedited version first, and then listen to the edited version. See if you can pick out those differences. Same thing with the grandpa for Best Wishes. And we also have voiceover recordings, so some different examples. Something you could do for the first dance or the finale of the night and the parents' dances, whether it's from the kids to mom or dad. Just, again, examples you can play during your meetings to show what you can do for their event. So we're going into our monogram folder here. We've got some HD backgrounds. These are going to be tools you can use if you want to start to implement those into some of the other designs, or start designing your own. Monogram fonts, we've got our font folder. We talked about installing those. And monogram samples. So this file is specifically just JPEG images. You cannot edit these. These are just to show clients. Sometimes I'll bring this up on the screen and just make sure I get my extra large view on to make it as big as possible if they want to see all the different monograms that are available. The pack right now includes 32 templates, and soon there will be more anytime you purchase the tools disc, and there is an update. Whenever I come out with new designs, you will get them free. I'll just post it on Living Motion Monograms Facebook page that there's an update. You guys will send me an email, and we'll get you the update link to add the new ones to your collection. We've got motion loops. Motion monograms are getting very, very, very hot right now, so check out some of the motion loops we've created for you guys. These are ones that you can use with video editing software, or if you are a Grand VJ user, stuff you can just toss in the background of your monogram templates. Just with that program, you don't even have to use video editing software. We've got our motion monogram templates, and the way these are set up, again, you will need some kind of form of video editing software, and any version of Photoshop works. So what you're first going to do is open up the template in Photoshop, and these are the same thing as the 32 templates. So we just took template 8, put it in here, and what this is going to do is make the changes to that template. I'll show you in another video how to save it as a PNG file. Or if your software like Sony Vegas allows you to import a Photoshop file and put it right on top of a video loop. We've got 10 of those in here. 2 of these are After Effects programs. They're After Effects designs, which means in order to use 6 and 10, you do have to utilize and have After Effects available in order to make edits to those. After Effects is a very powerful program. It can also be very costly, so I did want to include a couple of those in there just for people having some fun. Plus, we've made some other designs, like the Fire and Ice design, one of my favorites, that I used for the Fire and Ice cake mapping. And I made a monogram just to use. These are more general ones, so if you have an event that has a Fire and Ice theme, you can say, ooh, you know what, I'm going to make you a great monogram for that event. And then we've got our Motiongram videos. So we've got our README text, and that's just going to tell you a little bit about our Motion Monogram section. And our Photoshop templates. This is 1 through 32. So the way this works out is pretty easy. You go into Monogram Samples, they pick one out. If they like, I don't know, 27, then you can go into your Photoshop templates and click number 27. Some layers may have to be updated, just depends on the software that you're using, so you can hit OK. Now, if you do not install the fonts before opening up these files, and the fonts are not installed on your system, keep in mind it's going to substitute those fonts. So if you don't have the fonts on the system, it will substitute the fonts, and the design is going to look different than what the template look like in our JPEG images. So make sure those fonts do get installed before opening up these files. Alright, we're going to close this out for a second and continue on the disk here. We also have PowerPoint templates. Those of you who use PowerPoint, you're able to, a lot of these kind of are very similar to our Photoshop templates, but because of the difference in programs, they are a little bit different. So this still allows you to very easily come in here and make changes to the monograms themselves. Oops, we'll bring that back here. You can highlight, change fonts, change colors of the text. There's 2 layers here right now. So we've got our background layer, which has our designs on it. And you can see here how they're just different layers. And then we've got our text layers to make changes to the text. And as you can see, back 2013 is when we came out with some of these designs. So the tools just has been around for quite a while, and a lot of people, close to 1,000 people, are using it now. So we've got those templates for you, and the cool thing about this is if you do need to make any changes to size, if you're using PowerPoint, it is a great option. You can just make changes on site, and then just hit your slideshow button, and hit from the beginning, and boom, it's up on the screen. So you can use PowerPoint to show monograms as well. We will close out of this. And then our last one, style graphics. So these are all Photoshop files, vector frames, vectors, and flares. What these are actually the design elements that you can use. So I wanted to put some of these in here for you guys so that you can see some just kind of creative ideas. Maybe you want to implement some of these into the designs that are already there, or into some of your own creative designs. And the way make this really easy is to be able to select your Marquee Tool here on the left side, and pretty much just you can highlight this and just do a copy and paste onto your design. Now you may have to take the eraser tool, which looks like this, and once it's in your other design, and erase any overlap you have with some of the other ones. But you'll also notice that, like under vector frames, everything is in individual layers. So if layer 8 here, I can just grab this layer and drag it over to my other file that I'm working on, and plop it right down on top of it. These are all white on the it's like the vector frames here, and the purpose of that is that if you're most of the time we're working on a black backdrop, and the way we're able to do this is, again, this little effects tab we've got, which we'll talk more about in some of the other tutorials, and I'm using color overlay, so we can actually change the color of this to anything we want for that monogram. So we'll talk more about that on some of the other tutorials available on this YouTube channel. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have any questions, check out Living Motion Monograms group page on Facebook and post your questions there. Just ask to be a member. I will approve you, and we'll get you guys learning and trained. You know, my overall goal in this whole thing is to make sure that you guys can do this on your own. That's our goal. That's what we were trying to reach. So it may take some time. Some people will pick it up faster than others, and we've got 2 different services available for you. You can get the monograms as a pack. Everything on livingmotionmonograms.com is, in fact, on the tools disc. So all of those designs. Or if you don't want the programs, you don't want to deal with that, you can actually order the individual monograms. You know, a static image is the best price anywhere in the market, $20. That includes the design for your event. So you purchase the monogram, give me the information at checkout as far as names and date for the event, and I make the changes. I get you to approve it. Looks good, great. I'll make the 3 different sizes for you, so in both JPEG and PNG files. And the 3 different sizes are going to make it to where if you need a smaller image on the wall because you're shooting from farther distances, you don't have to alter that image. You just click the next file and it will make the image smaller. Motion monogram, same thing. I will also send you 3 different sizes of the motion monograms. So instead of making changes to the video file, if you don't have the software or anything to do that, you're able to just go, okay, the large one is too big, let's go to medium, let's go to small. Looks like medium's going to work out the best. Okay, perfect. So we got a lot of tips and tricks on those monograms as well in future videos here. So take some time, watch them, check them out. Also check out the 1% Solution group page. It is pretty much based mostly on just performance-based ideas and questions. So submit your performance-based questions on the 1% Solution group page. And then the Living Motion Monograms is more the techie page. So if you have questions on projection, everything from video mapping to monograms to just creative things you can do with video, or software or tools or hardware that you have questions about, you can submit them there, and I'm usually pretty quick about answering those for you guys. So check out the Facebook, check out the website livingmotionmonograms.com, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.